Hello again, it's me. Thank you so much for coming back to spend a little bit of time with me and to join in on this conversation about something that has been weighing on my heart in a very deep and very real way. If you've been here before, you know I like to be honest with you. I don't come here with polished answers. I come here with real life, with the messy parts, with the parts I'm still figuring out. And today is one of those days where I need to share something that has fundamentally shifted inside of me. Not because I read it in a book, not because some guru told me, but because life itself forced me to my knees and whispered the lesson I refused to learn any other way. Let's take a walk with me for a moment. There's something I need to say, and I want you to hear it not just with your ears, but with whatever part of you has been tired for a very long time. Leave the running behind. Stand still. There's something here we need to feel. Say you'll stay. Don't turn away. Let the quiet come. Let it fill the room. You and me, we don't have to move. As we have often talked about here, life absolutely does not ask our permission before it changes, does it? We can plan today, but tomorrow comes whether we are ready or not. And those of you who have followed me for a while know that I have always been a person in motion. I have always been someone who believed that if I just tried harder, pushed further, held on tighter, I could make things happen. I could make people stay. I could make situations work. I could make the future look the way I envisioned it in my mind. That has been the driving force of my entire life. And I want to tell you the story of how that belief broke me open. About 6 months ago, I found myself in a place I never imagined I would be. I had been chasing something, and I think if I'm honest with myself, I had been chasing it for years. It wasn't one thing, it was a constellation of things. I was chasing approval. I was chasing a version of success that I had painted in my mind when I was younger, a picture of what my life was supposed to look like by now. I was chasing reconciliation with people from my past who had drifted away, people I loved deeply who, for whatever reason, distance, time, pride, misunderstanding, were no longer part of my daily life. I was chasing certainty. I wanted to know that everything was going to be okay. I wanted guarantees. I wanted someone to look me in the eye and tell me that the path I was on was the right one, and that I wouldn't look back one day and regret the turns I didn't take. And the harder I chased, the more exhausted I became. I think many of you know this feeling. You wake up tired. You go through your day with this low hum of anxiety sitting just beneath your ribs, this sense that you are behind, that you are missing something, that everyone else has figured out a secret you were never told. You scroll through your phone and you see other people living lives that look put together and beautiful, and you wonder what is wrong with you. Why can't you just be content? Why can't you just be at peace? I remember one particular evening. It was a Tuesday, nothing special about it. I was sitting in my living room and the house was quiet and I had my phone in my hand and I was doing what I always did, scrolling, comparing, planning, worrying. I was sending messages to people who hadn't responded. I was looking at opportunities that hadn't panned out. I was rehearsing conversations in my head that I wished I had handled differently. And something inside me just broke. Not in a dramatic way, not with tears or a breakdown. It was quieter than that. It was more like a door clicking shut. A part of me simply said, I can't do this anymore. And that was the beginning of something I did not expect. Now, I know what a lot of you are probably thinking. You're thinking, well, what did you actually do? What changed? And I want to tell you because I think it might help someone here who is in the same place I was. The first thing I did was I stopped. I literally stopped. I stopped reaching out to people who made it clear through their silence that they didn't want to be reached. I stopped checking on opportunities that had already told me no in every way except words. I stopped rehearsing the past. I stopped trying to control outcomes that were never mine to control. And I want to be clear, this was not overnight. This was not a light switch. This was a daily, sometimes hourly practice of catching myself in the act of chasing and gently, gently pulling my hand back. Let it go. Let it drift away like smoke. You don't have to hold it. You never did. Let it go. The second thing I did, and this one was harder, was I started sitting with the emptiness. Because when you stop chasing, what you're left with is space. And space is terrifying when you've spent your entire life filling it with motion. I would sit in my living room in the evening and there would be nothing to do, nowhere to be, no one to impress, no goal to pursue, and the silence would press against me like a weight. I would reach for my phone. I would think of someone to call. I would think of something to organize, something to fix, something to plan. And I would have to say to myself, no, not right now, just be here. And slowly, so slowly you could barely notice it, the emptiness stopped being empty. It started being something else. It started being peace. Not the kind of peace you see on a vacation brochure, not the kind of peace that means everything in your life is perfect. It was a quieter peace, a peace that said, I am here. I am whole. I don't need to be anywhere else. I don't need to be anyone else. This moment is enough. Where is the line between striving and suffering? It's somewhere in the silence I was afraid to enter. But the truth, if I'm honest, is that I was never running towards something. I was running away from being still. Because being still meant feeling. And feeling meant facing the things I had buried under years of doing. We really must remember who we are underneath all the chasing. We are not our accomplishments. We are not our relationships. We are not our failures or our regrets. We are whole individuals, complete just as we are. And the moment we stop believing that is the moment the chasing begins. I know it sounds simple. I know it sounds like something you've heard 1,000 times in 1,000 different ways, but there is a difference between hearing a truth and living it. And I had heard this truth for decades. It was only when I stopped, truly stopped, that I began to live it. The third thing I did, and perhaps the most important, was I started living in the now, not in the past where all my regrets lived, not in the future where all my fears waited, but right here, right now, in this kitchen making coffee, in this garden watching the light change, in this moment typing these words, breathing this air. I started paying attention to the small things I had been bulldozing past in my race towards something bigger. The taste of my morning tea, the sound of rain against the window, the way my dog looks at me like I am the most important person in the world. These were not small things. I had just been too busy chasing to notice they were everything. Living in the now means understanding that today is the only day you truly have. Yesterday is a story you've already told. Tomorrow is a story you haven't written yet. But today is happening right now, and if you are so consumed with what was or what might be, you will miss what is. And what is beautiful, even when it's hard, even when it's lonely, even when it doesn't look the way you thought it would. It is still your life, and it is still happening, and it is still worthy of your full presence. Slow down. The world will keep spinning without your permission. Look around you. The sun is here. This moment is just this moment. It is not yesterday's regret. It is not tomorrow's fear. It is now, and now is enough. These three things: letting go of what I cannot control, sitting with stillness until it becomes peace, and living fully in the present moment have changed something inside me that I don't think will ever go back to the way it was. And I want to be honest with you because I think honesty is the only thing that truly helps. I still have days where the old pattern kicks in. I still have moments where I pick up the phone to chase someone or something, and I have to consciously put it back down. I still have nights where the silence feels less like peace and more like loneliness. I am not perfect at this. I am not a master. I am a student just like you, learning the same lesson over and over until it finally sticks. But I will tell you what I have found. I have found that the things I was chasing were never going to give me what I thought they would. The approval I sought from others was a poor substitute for the approval I needed to give myself. The success I was chasing was a mirage that would have moved the moment I reached it. The certainty I craved was never available to anyone, not to me, not to anyone, because life does not offer certainty. It offers today, and what we do with today is the only thing that is truly ours. I think about where I was 6 months ago, exhausted, anxious, running on a treadmill going nowhere, and I think about where I am now. I am not in a different place physically. My circumstances have not dramatically changed. What has changed is something inside. Something that was clenched has loosened. Something that was gripping has released. Something that was shouting has gone quiet. And in that quiet, I found something I had been looking for my entire life without knowing it. I found peace. Not peace as an achievement, not peace as a destination, peace as a way of being. Peace as a decision you make every single morning when you open your eyes and choose, again, to stop chasing and start living. So if you are here today and you are tired, truly tired, the kind of tired that sleep doesn't fix, I want you to hear me. What you are chasing is not the answer. What you are running from is not as frightening as you think. And what you are looking for has been inside you all along, waiting for you to slow down enough to feel it. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not missing whatever it is you think everyone else has. You are exactly where you need to be. And the moment you stop chasing is the moment you will understand why. Keep your faith, whatever that faith looks like for you. Whether you find it in prayer, in nature, in the eyes of someone you love, or in the quiet of your own heart, keep it. Because faith is what sustains you in the space between letting go and finding peace. It is the bridge. It is the hand that holds you when your own hands are too tired to hold on. Do something wonderful for yourself today. Not something big, not something expensive, something small and real. Make yourself a cup of tea and drink it slowly. Step outside and let the air touch your face. Call someone you love, not because you need something, but just to hear their voice. Or do nothing at all. Sit still, be with yourself, and discover, perhaps for the first time, that your own company is not something to endure, but something to savor. Be kind to whoever crosses your path today, including yourself, especially yourself, because you have been so hard on yourself for so long. You have been running and pushing and grasping, and you have forgotten that you are human, and humans need rest, and humans need grace, and humans need permission to stop. Let's all share the peace we are finding. Let's all take this journey together, not toward something, not away from something, just here, just now, just present. I will see you in my next video.